Okay. Those of you that follow me know already what I've been saying concerning the grave of Edgar Lungu being left open. It's just that many of you forget because you follow me politically. You believe that everything I say is tailored by President Hakainde Hichilema just because I support the UPND. No, there are places where national interest overrides political parties' interest. And it's at the Edgar Lungu's grave. Remember I told you that I said this before now, that day that the family of Seer won the election in South Africa, I made a video. I told you the consequence of what is going to happen. I will share that video so that those of you that didn't watch the video, you can watch the video so that you can judge me from there. You understand that these are spiritual things. I said that grave left open will be calling for people. That grave left open without being closed, it will be calling for people. Big people. I said it will be calling for people. Now, what happened is that powers take advantage of what is there to create what they want. Hear these things. There is a covenant between Malawi and Zambia. Malawi, in the realm of the spirit, is the remote controller of Zambia. In fact, is the engine room of Zambia. That Malawi that you see, that small Malawi you see, that is a very, very spiritually powerful country in Southern Africa. They are controlling spiritually so many countries in Southern Africa. For example, Malawi, anything that happens in Malawi must happen in Zambia. Check from the election. Anytime the opposition wins an election in Malawi, in that election that is coming in Zambia, the next election that is coming in Zambia, an opposition must win. Before President Hakainde won election, President Chakwara, the past president Chakwara of Malawi, won an election. And in my prophecy, as I was doing my spiritual work then in 2017 or 2016, I picked it up to say Malawi is the one that shows Zambia the way spiritually. Anything that happened in Malawi must happen. Must. Remember, must, not will. Must happen in Zambia. So, Chekwara won an election. Few months later, HH came and won an election. Because it's a spiritual covenant, a few years later, the president that was defeated, the president that was removed from power, who openly declared that I have retired from politics, but because of a covenant, came back and said, I want to contest. And he contested and he won. The one that was rejected contested and he won. And when I saw that, I said, if Edgar Lungu comes back and contests, he will win. If you are doubting me, look at what is happening now. If you are doubting me, don't just follow me like zombie. When I say something, you analyze it and know that Seer1 is a spiritual man. I'm talking with power and authority, and everything I say happened. If Edgar Lungu was alive, he came back and contested. By spiritual powers and covenant with Malawi, he was going to win. But because President HH has powers behind him, spiritual backs him up. President HH is not an ordinary human being. I will not say this thing again. For those of you that are insulting him, for those of you that are fighting him, for those of you that are time is coming for you. That man is not a normal human being. For Lungu, first of all, Lungu lost election and he resigned. The same thing Mutharika did in Malawi. He said, I'm out of politics. And later, he came back. The same thing the president of Malawi did. He came back. And imagine if Edgar Lungu was on the ballot paper today with President HH. You know what? Because spiritual forces are behind HH. They are in favor of HH. They took Edgar Lungu. On their own, they say, go and rest. Because this man has work that he must do for the people of Zambia. He must liberate the people of Zambia. Look, these people getting back into power does not mean they have something to offer. Go to Malawi and see that Mutharika is offering absolutely nothing in Malawi, apart from going for international medical treatment. Every week, the president is in South Africa receiving treatment. Was that what he was elected for? No, but spiritually, it's things that are happening spiritually. It was going to be the case of Edgar Lungu. And if Edgar Lungu won against HH and came to power, it would still be the same thing. Always going out for medical treatment. Most of you that follow me blindly, I told you, start thanking God for President HH. 4 years in power, no single day did he go out for medical treatment. You don't know what God has done for you, the people of Zambia. But that's not what I'm talking about. This is not politics. I'm telling you reality. Now, because Edgar Lungu was removed out of the way by God to make sure that HH continue being in power, number one of the covenant with Malawi was broken. Are you following it? Now, before Mutharika won an election in Malawi, the sitting vice president, Honorable Chekwara, what is his name again? I've forgotten his name, had a helicopter crash and he died. Follow the spiritual link between Malawi and Zambia. We are doing a lot of work to break that yoke, and God is doing it. Follow it up. A few months before the election in Malawi, the vice president, Lazarus Chilima, died on a helicopter crash just to pave way for the president of Malawi, Mutharika, to get into power. Exactly the same thing that was going to happen if Edgar Lungu was alive and he was on the ballot. Yesterday, Mama Namulango was going to die in the crash. But that yoke, that link between Zambia and Malawi is being broken gradually. Number one, it was broken. Edgar Lungu left. God took him. Number two, the plane crash exactly. The vice president, the same way vice president of Malawi went, is the same way the vice president of Zambia was going to go. And in that election, Edgar Lungu was going to win and come back to power. Are you following what I'm saying? Why was this possible? Because there was an open grave. The covenant came through the open grave that is already open. He wanted to swallow a leader. First, he went to HH. And the kind of power that is surrounding HH, I say no-go area. It came to Mama Nalumango. Power was with her. Protection was with her. They failed. And because they failed, the grave is open. The grave will still be calling for people. That is why, in the last video I made, I commanded the grave to leave the government alone and go to the family that refused to put their beloved one in the grave. Every grave has a name. Jesus Christ was on earth, moving around, walking around. When he died at the cross of Calvary, There was no grave, but there was a man that volunteered his own grave. Everyone have their own grave written on it, no matter who we are. Even a child born today has a grave written with his name already. If you don't, somebody must enter that grave. Jesus entered the grave of another man's grave. And he couldn't stay in that grave. 3 days he came out. Your grave is your grave. That grave was dug for Lungu. If he's looking for who to swallow, he should go to that family and pick one person. That's why I have encouraged the government to close it and put a rating. Make it a tourist attraction. It kills nobody. I mean, no one lost. You lose nothing doing that. It becomes a tourist attraction. People will go from generation to generation. Oh, this is where our 5th Republican president was supposed to be buried. Then it's not here. The family took him somewhere else. It will be on history, chapter. But so long as the grave is open, it will be calling. I said it that day. It will be calling. As we speak now, it's still calling. So everyone must be careful. If you are not protected as a minister, protect yourself. If you are not protected as a family member for Edgar Lungu, the grave is open. The grave is calling. So long as a grave has been dug, someone must go inside. And it will be calling. So I just connected how the covenant with Malawi wanted to use the grave to swallow the vice president, to pave way for the next president. This also should tell you guys, those that are saying Mundibile, Mundibile, Mundibile. If you follow what I'm saying, you can see that prophetically, spiritually, the throne is not for Mundibile. The link between Zambia and Malawi was broken the day Edgar Lungu died. The day Edgar Lungu was removed out of the race was the day that siege was broken. Yesterday you saw it. The vice president was supposed to go the same way the vice president of Malawi went. But because the yoke was broken, it couldn't work. There is serious forces that is protecting both HH and the vice president. I hope what I've said has made sense to you. Has it made sense to you?